He knew he had said the wrong thing the moment the enormous ballroom fell completely silent. Dozens of people turned toward him, and across the room stood the woman everyone feared more than any business crisis. Vera Rayner, the 40-year-old CEO known for her icy composure, slowly lifted her eyes toward the ordinary mechanic in the gray shirt. Her face revealed nothing, but her stare could make grown executives step backward. And yet Alex had leaned toward her and quietly said, "Careful, baby." Several guests froze. Someone even laughed nervously, expecting security to drag him away. But Vera did not get angry. Instead, she stepped closer, looked directly into his eyes, and whispered, "Say that again." Those 3 words would change the lives of 2 people who had both stopped believing in love. If you love stories about second chances, kindness, and people finding each other when they least expect it, please like this story, leave a comment, share it with someone who needs hope, and subscribe to Bright Acts. Maybe this story will remind someone today that even the coldest heart may simply be waiting for a person who makes it feel safe again. Alex Morgan was not the kind of man invited to expensive corporate parties. He was a single father raising his 8-year-old daughter, Sophie, while running a small auto repair shop on the edge of the city. After losing his wife, Alex had learned to live without complaints. His daughter was his entire world, so he worked from early morning until late at night, repairing cars, changing tires, and helping stranded drivers whenever he could. Money was often tight, but Sophie never heard her father complain about how unfair life was. He always told her that a person could lose almost everything except the ability to remain kind. That evening, Alex found himself at a luxurious corporate reception only because his shop serviced vehicles belonging to Rayner Group. One of the company drivers had suddenly become ill, and Alex had been asked to deliver an important folder to the headquarters. He planned to hand it to the secretary and leave, but fate had something completely different in mind. Vera Rayner entered the ballroom almost unnoticed, yet every head immediately turned toward her. She was the woman who had transformed her family's modest company into a multi-billion-dollar corporation in less than 10 years. People called her the Ice Queen because she never allowed emotions to influence her decisions. But Alex noticed something everyone else missed. When Vera entered the room, her smile was perfect, but her fingers were trembling slightly. A few minutes later, she moved toward a window, and Alex saw her close her eyes as if she were struggling with pain. He approached her not because he wanted to meet a wealthy woman, but because he noticed that she was about to collapse. When Vera suddenly stumbled, Alex caught her arm and steadied her. And while trying to help her sit down, he said those unforgettable words. "Careful, baby." Vera looked up and quietly demanded that he repeat himself. Alex immediately realized he had made a terrible mistake, but instead of backing away, he smiled and told her that he had never been good at being afraid of people simply because of their job titles. For the first time in many years, Vera laughed, a genuine laugh that surprised even her. The next morning, Alex was certain he had lost the company contract. But a black luxury car stopped outside his little repair shop. Vera stepped out. She had not come to punish him. She brought him the documents he had accidentally taken home after the reception. Then she asked why he had not used the situation against her or told anyone that the powerful CEO had nearly collapsed. Alex simply answered that a person should never humiliate another person when they are vulnerable. Vera remained silent for a long moment. She was not used to hearing things like that. Most people either feared her or wanted something from her. Alex wanted nothing. He did not even know how much her car cost. For the first time, Vera felt that someone was looking at her not as a billionaire or a CEO, but simply as a woman. Their meetings gradually became more frequent. At first, Vera came under the excuse of checking the company's vehicles. Then she started appearing for no real reason at all. She met Sophie, and the little girl was completely unafraid of the intimidating CEO. One afternoon, Sophie asked Vera why she always looked as though she was about to fire someone. Vera laughed so loudly that Alex nearly dropped the wrench in his hand. Slowly, the little girl became attached to her, and Vera unexpectedly found herself looking forward to their visits. She sometimes brought Sophie books, but she never arrived with expensive gifts because Alex had made one rule very clear. He did not want his daughter growing up believing that love could be measured by the price of something. Vera respected that boundary. But happiness rarely arrives without a test. Trouble soon began inside the company. One of Vera's business partners wanted to remove her from power and started spreading rumors that she was no longer capable of making good decisions because of her relationship with a simple mechanic. Photographs of Vera and Alex appeared online. The headlines were cruel. People mocked her, while Alex was called a gold digger. Vera could have destroyed everyone involved with a single phone call. Instead, she went to Alex and admitted something she had never said aloud before. She was afraid, not of losing her company, but of losing him. Alex told her he would not disappear simply because other people had decided how they should live. But only days later, disaster struck. While repairing a vehicle, part of the old workshop roof collapsed. Alex was trapped beneath the structure and suffered a serious injury to his arm. For a man who had spent his entire life providing for his daughter with his own hands, the injury was more frightening than the physical pain. He began to believe that Vera deserved someone else, someone more successful, stronger, wealthier, and free of problems and debts. He tried to push her away, telling her that their relationship had been a mistake. Vera refused to leave. One evening, she found Alex sitting alone inside the dark workshop. She placed a folder in front of him and told him it contained neither money nor a business contract. Inside were documents for a new repair facility, but she had not put it in her own name. She had arranged it so that Alex and Sophie could have a secure future. Alex immediately refused, afraid that she was trying to rescue him out of pity. Vera calmly explained that it was not charity. She simply wanted to give the man who had once protected her dignity a chance to stand again. Alex broke down in tears because, for the first time in years, he allowed himself to be weak in front of someone. Months later, the workshop reopened. Alex was working again, although his injured arm still caused occasional pain. Sophie began calling Vera part of the family, and the woman once known as the Ice Queen became someone people rarely saw without a smile. She was still a powerful CEO, still demanding, still capable of silencing an entire boardroom with one look. But something inside her had changed. One evening, the three of them sat outside the workshop watching the sunset, while Sophie slept beside her father. Vera quietly admitted that she had once believed wealth could protect a person from loneliness. Alex told her that sometimes people do not need someone who can save them from the entire world. They simply need someone beside whom they no longer have to pretend to be strong. A year later, Vera returned to the same corporate ballroom where their story had begun. This time Alex stood beside her, dressed neatly, but still carrying the same quiet confidence that had first caught her attention. The room was filled with powerful executives, but Vera barely noticed them. Alex leaned toward her with a familiar smile and whispered, "Careful, baby." Everyone nearby waited for her reaction. Instead, Vera laughed, took his hand, and told him that those words had been the beginning of the first time in years she had truly felt alive. Before this story ends, comment one word, second chance, if you believe it is never too late for someone to begin again. And if this story touched your heart, please like the video, share it with someone who needs a little hope, and subscribe to Bright Acts. Sometimes one kind word really can change someone's life.